I like a lot the picture of Lilo Stein from 1935. I think it's actually the only one of her exhibition, no?
I think so. There's one with the kids, I think.
Okay, there's the second one. But that's pretty much it. She looks so happy. It's always like so tragic to see these old photographs, and you just know.
Yeah, that's
a couple of months later.
Changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because here I think it's just months.
It's also the saddest photographs we have in my family. It's a photo of the glass of my grandmother from White Russia. It's from 41. And you just like see the photographs and you know that just almost nobody in the picture survived.
And the nice thing that the first photos, even of him, it's look like a traveler, explorer, more than anything else. It's kind of following a job and following, I mean, the whole characters in the photos, they are random from everywhere, from the street, without focusing on a certain character or following anyone. It's just, and you can see that this is the streets where he's moving. It's a documentation in a different way, which later will change. I mean, the characters and the people. And the topic itself, I think here there is still, he's trying to discover, because he's still new, just left Germany. And there is a feeling that it's a journey. He will go back soon. He will not stuck here, you know. It's also the same sadness about the photos that it's just months later everything will change. The war will start, or the Nazi will be empowered, and they should leave all.
But I mean, also the exile literature, at least in German literature, is like one of the biggest parts, like it's such an important part of the German modern literature, and still we always forget what it's about. This was like 2015. For me, it was the most interesting thing that suddenly, like everything we learned in school, at the university, is like the whole common sense of the German post-war society is like this never again, and this promises that so history is not going to repeat itself. Like once 2015 we had the same situations, like we know it from the novels, just the people were not escaping through the Mediterranean to Mexico or to the US, but they've been trying to come in, and suddenly we forgot everything we learned. And isn't it like by now it's like, why do we even bother if we don't keep it?
Now, or when I saw that most of the people were, I mean, we were reading, or what we read in Syria, Arab world translated to Arabic, most of the writers, they are really in exile.
Yeah.
In exile.
But you can still read them.
Yeah.
In Syria, like it's not like there's no index,
they
nothing.
Are not, no, they are not. I mean, and the exile was for us. It's more Russian word, because we never hear that. Even Hannah Arendt, we know that but we know it in a different way. That she is a Jew and she ran away from the Nazi. Then it's nothing about exile or even the Second World War. You can feel the story of each character, especially there is some of them, he took photos in Paris and in New York, and you can see even the difference between them. And some sad moment that they look in Paris older than in New York, which is 10 years later. It means that when you flee, you lose most of your energy, health, then slowly you get used to the situation and you go back to your life. Or even Brecht.
But I think I'd rather like the newspaper, like because maybe the photographs in US are already like when the war turned, you know, when there's hope again, because the people it's like.
This is what I mean. I mean, when they left, they thought they lost everything.
Yeah.
In New York, it's 44 already,
It's right,
the
yeah.
whole war, I
Exactly.
mean, everything, it
Looks
became more
better.
clear that they could go back.
Yeah.
And a lot of them also said, some, they, I mean, he took photos, then they passed.
I like it, how the exhibition is cut into like two parts. Like one part is Paris, and then you go upstairs, and it's like, and it's New York. And you ask that you like literally have to go up. Like for example, like there's like a family is reading the newspaper which is saying Italy surrender. Like in a way it's, from the theatrical means, it's quite cheap, but it still has an effect on you.
Yeah,
but I don't know. What do you think about it?
No, I mean, it's how it's staged. I mean, for me, from outside, now as 8 years later, I don't feel how staged it is. But at the same time, it's clear. I mean, especially this one,
Yeah.
as example, there is some of it. It's so clear how it's made, but still there is something fresh about it. I love the colors, or even if it's black and white, but the cities, how it's changing, the atmosphere, the whole things, and the people themselves, they are more colorful.
But it's still strange to look, like when you look at them, just to look at the Nazi collaborators and Nazis close to all of the other German portraits. It's just basically like no, there's no moral virtue behind it. It's just like have all the Germans.
It's a nice trip. I have the feeling that we were at his lab in New York and Paris,